Hello, and welcome to this video made for the Muchattoes Lake virtual design charrette. The event has come together after a series of collaborations that stemmed from the initiative for Yale Day of Service that has now turned into a virtual year of service. For last year's Yale Day of Service in May, architects, planners, policymakers worked with the community members and local Newburgh nonprofit organizations for a one-day design charrette titled Reimagine Lake Street Corridor, where we reviewed existing Lake Street corridor through the lens of complete streets to create better and safer access for pedestrians, bikes, strollers, and other alternate modes of transportation. The group was most inspired by the unbound opportunity of green infrastructure in Newburgh, which includes lakes, parks, and creeks, and recognized the need to create better public access to these potential public spaces around the city's natural assets. In the fall, many students and community members joined again for Lake Muchattoes cleanup event. We trimmed small and large bushes and tidied up the area to create a clear vantage point to Lake Muchattoes as a first step to engage and activate areas surrounding the lake.
This year's Yale Day of Service / The Architect is In for Newburgh was originally conceived as an in-person workshop and cleanup day, which continued the momentum of the Lake Street, Lake Muchattoes efforts. But due to COVID-19, we have become creative and begun to envision a new way to collaborate together, virtually. The hope being that the work done this spring and summer will lead to a physical placemaking intervention this fall or next spring. A virtual tour made by Ashley and Ron of Outdoor Promise, accompanied by a PDF, will act as the prompts for responses from the community, and we are ambitiously hoping to hear from many age groups and local community members and highlight those responses in our virtual gallery. Thank you for your interest and participation. This effort is a collaboration amongst various individuals and groups, including Yale Day of Service, The Architect is In, Department of Small Interventions, Outdoor Promise, Habitat Workshop, Brent Hayford Studio, that have worked with local entities and community groups such as Chess Club, Greater Newburgh Parks Conservancy, Horizons on the Hudson, PTech, the Newburgh Free Library, to name a few. I'm Brant Knapp of Brent Hayford Studio in East Harlem. Along with my design partner, Jerome Hayford, we're invested in the community of Newburgh. We're both Yale Architecture alum, graduated from MArch program in 2010, and are excited to continue work on Lake Street and Lake Muchattoes in Newburgh.
I am June Yang from Habitat Workshop, an architecture and urban design studio located in Brooklyn, New York. We have been involved in organizing last year's events around Lake Street and Lake Muchattoes, and we're thrilled to see the work continuing this year. I studied architecture as an undergraduate at Yale and then continued on to my graduate studies at Columbia GSAPP. Newburgh's Emerald Necklace is formed by a series of lakes and creeks that connect to Hudson River. Quasay Creek is the main inlet from Hudson River and forms Muchattoes Lake and Crystal Lake. It continues on to other small and large bodies of water in the surrounding areas, forming what looks like strands of necklaces in and around Newburgh. Many parks and recreation centers are also built around them, including the Lano Hitch Park that marks the entry point to Lake Street and Muchattoes Lake. Together, these programs and sites form green infrastructure, and Newburgh has a great potential for creative placemaking that engages the community. Last year's design charrette titled Reimagine Lake Street Corridor tackled the problem of excessively wide and unsafe automotive-focused commercial thoroughfare surrounding Muchattoes Lake. As the first step, Oversized driving lanes are narrowed by creating a dedicated zone for street parking, bike lanes, and bus stops to create more pedestrian and bike-friendly streets. This creates a safer and more welcoming environment for Newburgh residents and provides access to Muchattoes Lake. In illustrations further developed by Habitat Workshop, we envision the what-if possibilities around Muchattoes Lake. What if we could create a trail around the lake that can start connecting Newburgh's natural assets and activate green spaces for healthy recreational activities open to everyone? By creating street parking, we make storefronts more lively and also transform existing paved lots into public amenities spaces, including playground, dog park, skater park, and picnic areas. People can ride their bikes and scooters, run around the lake, and canoe and kayak in the lake. By activating the area surrounding the lake, we're creating two-sided storefronts, one facing Lake Street and another facing Muchattoes Lake, with the opportunity to add programs that serve the new park. Kayak rental? Check. Getting your favorite ice cream? Check. Newburgh residents can enjoy nature, get some healthy exercise, and connect with their neighbors through these small pockets of publicly accessible parks. Imagine all the what-if possibilities for yourself. What would you like to see at Muchattoes Lake?
What is placemaking? It's a multifaceted approach to the planning and design of public spaces. Placemaking harnesses the local community's assets, inspiration, and potential with the intention of creating public spaces that promote people's health, happiness, and well-being. We highlight this pop-up park in the accompanying PDF as it was a recent intervention and hopefully the Newburgh community is aware of it. It was located at 191 South Street in Newburgh. The Chess Park is a great example of how placemaking can transform people's experience by creative use of public space and design. As part of Columbia University's Hudson Valley Initiative, simple benches and oversized chess pieces, constructed with the help of Columbia GSAP students, local fabricators, and a grant from Awesome Newburgh, creates a safe and engaging environment for an after-school program led by Matthew Tether. As you will see in the virtual tour and the accompanying PDF document, there are 3 sites that have been selected as possible locations for our placemaking efforts. Each of the sites has its pros and cons, and we're asking for you to help us understand the various sites from your perspective. This can be done in a number of ways, by adding to the pros and cons list, as well as creative imaginings, which explain future potentials for the site. These creative imaginings can be a drawing, a journal entry, a collage, or even inspired from the ecosystems and natural elements of the site. We are interested in learning more about each site and its possibilities to better design one or more of the locations in the near future. As you see, there are 3 sites that are shown on the map. Site 1, Lake Drive Access Point, is the northernmost site. A pro is that it is the closest access point from Broadway, the main street in Newburgh. Currently, Lake Drive is pedestrian, meaning it does not have vehicular access, which is nice for pedestrian access. As a site, this location has the potential to feel like you are on a nature trail. Site 2, the South William Street access point, is directly behind the existing commercial buildings on Lake Street. An asset to this site is that it has direct access from South William Street. There could be a presence from Lake Street that would help community members know about the placemaking intervention and the lake itself. The commercial tenants in the building may be inspired and want to set up seating, etc., behind to connect to the placemaking intervention we are workshopping. Site 3 The waterfall overlook access point is the southernmost site and takes advantage of the dam, the human-made waterfall, as a focal point. An asset is that the sound is soothing and there's shaded area where one naturally would like to sit and enjoy the lake. For more information, please take a look at the accompanying PDF document. And with these ideas in mind, please enjoy the virtual tour made by Ashley and Ron of Outdoor Promise to see Lake Muchattoes from their perspective and in a canoe. We hope you're inspired by their findings as we are, and that you get a chance to visit the sites yourself sometime soon. Stay safe and well.